Let's see where we go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, how are you tonight? I am. You're on the other side of the steering wheel, so it's kind of going to be a little bit of a pain in your ass. Cops are out here tonight. I decided to do this live stream because, ooh, that's an accident. How the hell do you have an accident on a straightaway, retards? Anyway, yeah, I'm not going to be able to read too many of the comments here because I'm on Route 13, driving at about 25 mile an hour with my full work lights on. I don't really care. I need to be seen. And, you know, I guess if the cops pull me over, I'll turn them down. So anyway, yeah, we are having a hell of a time today. The temperature has turned really cold, and I'm thinking that my baling twine is causing knotter issues. They're just not helping me out at all. Now I just did I don't know, about 30 bales without one problem. Joseph has been plagued with problems all afternoon, and yeah, it's one of those things. You kind of got to deal with it. Ooh, trees, trees, trees. So I got to drive 38 miles back up to the motorhome. So I'll be here for a little bit. I wish I had voice chat with this thing or whatnot. Ugh. Yeah. So I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. I could talk about, exhaustion and how tired we kind of are and how we're pretty much ready to go home. We're getting there. I mean, I'm getting pretty tired. Just not plagued with problems, but, it's been a long ass year. And I'm sure when I get home and I get these balers worked on and tuned up and ready for the next year, I'll be ready to go in a week. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, but no, we're just. It's nighttime. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I didn't have lunch. Ugh. I didn't have a proper lunch. I stopped and got chicken McNuggets from a McDonald's that's down here off of Route 13 in Cape Charles, Virginia. So, yeah, but yeah, we've done pretty good. Joe probably bailed. I guess we probably bailed 150 bales with this baler. Teresa's up there bailing. Who was that? Somebody just gave me money. I don't know who that was. I thank you. I thank you for it. I got cars passing me that 1,000 mile an hour. Now I am having a problem with the power takeoff shaft on this tractor. These are the replaceable ones where you pull a 540 out, you put 1,000 in. You can use either a large 1,000 or a small 1,000. But the thing you're really supposed to do when you're running these like this is you're supposed to actually put some grease on those power takeoff shafts, especially when you're running them in this dirty, dusty, nasty conditions. Well, I haven't been in this tractor in a while because Joe's been running it until tonight. And I got to tell you, that power takeoff shaft is wobbling like a sick whore that just stumbled out of a crack house. It's just terrible. Just terrible. So I'm going to have to pull it apart tomorrow and see if uh, that Atlantic tractor has a spare, has a new one. Because this is a large 1,000 and it's just destroyed. I mean, it is just destroyed. So, anyhow, yeah. Yep, that's the way it is. Got to get it fixed. It's nothing to fix it. Excuse my yawning. I know I'm just that tired. Anyways, yeah, it's nothing to fix it. Just pull the clip out, pull the damn thing out, put the new one in, and and be on your merry way. Now I've done some funky repairs on these things in the past. I've taken Teflon tape, wound it up on there, and put it back in the socket, and that works for a little while, but nothing as good as a brand new power takeoff shaft. So I'll have to scold Joe a little bit on that one because it is his lack of vigilance that has caused this problem. And that damn thing is cost you like $400. At least $400. And here I was wondering if you can hear me better. Can you all hear me okay? I mean, just tell me you can hear me. Just say yes or no. Come on. Oh, good. I did get a new headset today. See, my other headset was a Blue Tiger Elite, and the microphone had broke, and it was busted. So I had to get a new one. So I was in Walmart because I'm going deaf, and it'll probably be in the video that I post, tomorrow morning. But I'm going deaf. My left ear is pretty well shot. My right ear isn't far behind it now. It's really hard to hear on the telephone. I've got the volume all the way up. Everybody else can hear what's being said. I've now decided that it's better to, I have no privacy because I turn the telephone to speakerphone to talk, and everybody around me hears but me. Yep, that's how bad it is. So, about a year and a half ago, I guess it was a year and a half ago, I went over to Costco and I had a hearing test done. And the hearing doctor, he's like, yeah, you definitely need hearing aids. And, it's $1,700 for the hearing aids, I guess. And they're Siemens hearing aids. And it's like, wow, okay. So I didn't do it because it's like, God, do I really need to hear that bad that I want to spend $1,700? Well, when you can't hear what people are saying, you can hear the machines running around me. That's the crazy thing is I can hear these machines running around me, but I can't. Cape Charles Light is where I'm at right now. I can hear everything around me, but I can't hear when people are talking to me. And if I'm in a public setting and then somebody calls, and who just sent me more money? That was Farmall Fanatic. It just looks like his symbol there. So $5. Boom. So anyway, the $1,700 for my hearing aids is kind of tough to swallow, but I'm having a hard time. Just so you know, if you don't take care of your ears, it's gonna suck for you. Believe me, it sucks for me at times. Um, but anyway, I try to put these noise canceling headsets on because I just don't want to lose my hearing any worse than I already have. And, I'm at that point where, shit, I can't hear anything, even when I'm talking on the phone. So, there it is. Take care of your ears. Don't straight pipe your tractors. Don't shoot guns without hearing protection unless you're hunting. Um, don't don't do stupid stuff. I mean, I distinctly remember when I was a kid taking plastic bottles. They were See, back in the day, we had these GMC grain trucks with 351 V6 engines in them, and they were general mess of craps. And they always vapor locked. They always got water in the fuel, and they made a mess. So my dad would buy this isopropyl alcohol, or dry gas is what they called it, and he would put that in there all the time. Like, he would buy cases of this stuff and put 10 or 12 bottles in each tank. And at the beginning of the grain seasons, whether it be corn or wheat or oats or whatever else we were doing. So we had all these plastic bottles. And, when you're a kid, you're just as dumb as a box of rocks. You just don't know any better. And what I did was I would take the air gun in the shop. I like to blow stuff up. and I didn't have a very good understanding of explosives and things like that. So what I would do is I'd take the air gun and I would put it in the end of these bottles of dry gas, the empty bottles of dry gas, and I would squeeze the trigger and they would explode. And it was kind of cool, you know. But I did it so many times that my ears were ringing for days after that. So the hearing damage that I've done was to myself was just absolutely asinine. Some of this stuff. I remember shooting M1 Garand's 30-06s, 303 British, 357 Magnums, 22 long rifle, 30-30 Winchesters, 22 250 I shot one time without any hearing protection. I shot a lot of rounds through that. And, you know, just a dumb kid and doing stuff like that. That's what you end up with, being deaf. I remember my uncle saying, "You're going to pay for that. You're going to pay for that when you're older." Like, yeah, whatever, get out of my hair. You know, that kind of stupidity. So, oh, and the loudest thing I ever shot without hearing protection was a 1918 New Service Revolver 4440 Colt. That was loud. I mean, 6 rounds out of that bad boy, and ladies and gentlemen, you weren't hearing anything for a while. So I remember being a kid and raking hay with an old Ford 9N tractor, the little Ford 9N that I have, and getting off of that tractor, my ears ringing. Now those things are really quiet. So my I did have good hearing at one time. I mean, I could hear a squirrel fart, but you know now I couldn't hear a dump truck drive through a nitroglycerin plant. It's that bad. So anyway, that's my hearing story. So I don't know. I just hate to spend that kind of money. I'm gonna do it, but I had asked Teresa to go make me an appointment over at Costco, or at least ask the Costco people if they would take my old hearing test and give me hearing aids on that hearing test. And they're like, no, you can't do that. You have to make an appointment, and it takes 2 weeks to make this appointment, and then I got to go in there, and it takes about an hour to do the test, and then they set up the hearing aids, and they let you walk around the store with the hearing aids, and let you know, then you know if you're gonna use it or not, buy it or not. Of course, I'm gonna buy it. So anyway, my grandmother, God bless her, she's still kicking. She's 94. She's not doing well. She had a heart attack about a little over a year ago now, and she's been slowly deteriorating. Me being away on these trips down south here have been kind of hard because I haven't seen her, and I'd hate for her to pass away while I'm not there. But this job is coming to an end, so we're getting there. Bail counts. I think we're close to 9,000 bales, 8 or 9,000 bales. I mean, I'll get an accurate count on that tomorrow, and I'll let you all know what that is. But this new baler, let's see what I got here. I got totals on the new baler. I can hit the all button. Yeah, this new baler has 17,490 bales through it. 17,490 bales. Now, Teresa's running the other baler, and I did post online what the bale counts were on that one. That one had 43,400 some bales on it, and I'm pretty sure it's close to 44,000 now. So, yeah, wow. I mean, we're putting the bales through these things. So 17,409 bales. There's some problems with this baler that need to be addressed. They are warranty items, like the VFS needs to be worked on big time, and that is factory defect, I believe. The nuts on the cam rollers on the VFS have loosened up. Every damn one of them. So I've put new ones on, and of course the holes are hogged out on them, and it's not going to work out too well. You know, if you ask me, it's just not going to work out too well. I'm going to have to get Messick's. This baler's either got to go to Messick's, or I'm going to have Gerald come out from Messick's and do the assessment on it and get me the parts, and I will replace the parts and give them all back to Messick's so that I don't get charged all that labor charge that they charge me, and and submit that stuff through warranty. This baler should be covered under that warranty. I paid $6,000 for that damn warranty. So if that's the case, then 511 hours to do 7,000. Was that 7,490? 511 hours to do 17,490. Somebody do the math for me. What's 17,490 divided by 511? I want to know how many bales an hour this thing put through it. I mean, that's quite a few bales for that time. 17,490 divided by 511. Let me know. I know there's somebody out there that's willing to do it. 34? 34 bales an hour. It's not a bad average, to be honest with you. Because we were 34 bales an hour. I'm sure. Is that what that says? 34? 34. Yeah, as the new contracts come forward, 34 bales an hour is not bad. That's a good deal. Um, yeah, 34. All right, cool. Uh, the As the year progresses and next year shapes up, and we figure out where we're going, what we're doing, yes, the the I'll have somebody. I'll have resumes. I'll be taking resumes. We're going to do things just a little bit different this coming year, just for the simple fact that running people to the end of their rope is not healthy. I mean, I could do that to my family members, but I don't know that people that want to work for me want to work those kinds of hours. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't mind working 18, 19, 20 hours a day. Doesn't bother me too much. I've done it a lot. But when you hire people, they got to actually take a rest. So what I'm thinking is for wheat straw, when we do the wheat straw, is we do 12-hour shifts. So if there's 3 balers, stack wagons, stinger stackers, stack wagons, the I'll need 1, 2, 3, 6 people for balers. I'll need um, 4 people for stackers for each crew. So, it's going to be quite a deal, and you're going to punch a time clock too. We're not we're not paying by the bale. We're paying by we're going to punch a time clock. Um, I will probably be paying $18 an hour for the time worked. I will be responsible for your housing and your food. That we will do. And yeah, when you're actually in the seat, or when we get up in the morning and we get going, from the time we start greasing to the time we shut the tractors down, or the time you get back to the place where you will be sleeping, you'll be punching a time clock. We're not gonna play games. You will be on the books for sure. Absolutely 100% on the books. We're not playing the hide the tax revenue there. What was that? Oh shit! See, I can't read. my eyes are focusing on the road, so I can't read too much. Yeah, so I don't know how many people actually want to work for me. I mean, anybody watching here that would actually want to sign up for the crew? So I'm looking at 2 crews running. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. We do. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so I got a few guys that want to sign up for the crew. We got 4 or 5, yeah, 6. So excellent. Okay. All right. So I got some interest there. Now, um, the plans that I have, or what we're looking for this coming year, um, are 2 crews in the South. One on the eastern shore of Maryland, Virginia, and one in North Carolina. Now, my nephew will be running more than likely the one in North Carolina, and I will be running the crew in. No, my nephew will be running the crew in Virginia, Maryland. I will be running the crew in North Carolina. The amount of straw that will be in North Carolina will be probably more than what is going to be baled up here in the Delmarva. So it's just that's why I need to be there, and I'll probably have brand new balers on the eastern shore and or the Delmarva eastern shore, and I will have the older balers down in North Carolina. Even though they'll be refurbished and ready to go, it's just there's little things on the older balers that you kind of have to have a good handle on. And knotters are always the main issue with these things. So they'll be worked on, set up, and ready to go. Come on. So when it gets closer, I will be taking resumes. A little experience will be required. You guys are going to need. What I'm going to need is stacker operators. I'm going to need baler operators. I'm going to need a tool truck guy and a fuel truck guy, or one person to do that job would be fine, or we can alternate it. There's going to be somebody on call at all times to run that fuel truck and tool truck, especially with of the number of tractors that it's going to take to do these jobs. So, and I'm thinking I'll probably have a Stinger 8500 by then. I'm planning that job, if you know what those things are. I inquired about the price of a Stinger 8500. They want $365,000 for one of those. Uh, the number of bales that we'll be doing. Wow, who's that? Somebody got me some money there. Who was that? $5. Well, thank you, whoever that was. Appreciate it. I know you're probably going to want me to read whatever that was. All right, hold on. Wes, I appreciate your videos. You're awesome, buddy. Well, thank you. Who is that? God darn if I can't read that. Maybe my eyes are going bad now. So anyway, yeah. So that's what we're going to need. So there's a lot of planning that's got to take place here on my end, and I also have to have the guys from the guys from the companies that are hiring me to do this work. Oh yeah, and don't forget, I still have hay to do at home. There's 3,500 acres of hay to do at home, plus the possibility, the very distinct possibility that I'm going to be going to Colorado, Wyoming, Nebraska. Yeah, did you hear that one? That was a mouthful. Somebody else gave me some money. Who did that? Who gave me that blue? What was that? Do you hire the disabled? Uh, I would hire a disabled individual depending on their disability. I mean, if you got a missing leg, or but you can still operate the machinery. If you can still operate the machinery, I don't see why I wouldn't hire you. I mean, there's always room for people that have some issues. I don't see why I wouldn't. I mean, it's only fair if you're qualified to do the job. Like run a stack wagon. I mean, if you're disabled, I mean, what's your disability? That's another thing. What is your disability? If you've had a heart attack and you're like got one foot in the grave and the other on a banana peel, I'm sorry, I can't risk that. I don't really want to be dealing with that because. But if you've had a heart attack and you fully recovered and you're just looking for a job that nobody will, then fine. Yeah, I can put you in a tool truck or fuel truck. There's always going to be someone needing something. That's the crazy thing. So I can't read and drive at the same time, so you're going to have to bear with me on this one. So anyway, yeah, no, I don't have a problem with hiring disabled as long as you're not like paralyzed from the waist down and you can't push in on a clutch. I mean, that could be a problem. Um, we're going to need a cook. Definitely going to need a cook. Yeah, definitely going to need a cook. I mean, I'm covered in North Carolina with the cook, but up here on the Delmarva, we're trying to get Teresa's sister to come out, and she can cook. She's a very nice person, and my nephew would keep the boys in line. She's single, ready to mingle. She's probably watching right now. But anyway, Aditha, I'm going to sell you again. If I get her here, then Farm All Fanatic, he can come out and meet her. Good old Gino. There you go. But now we could get her cooking. I don't know if we could put her in a tractor. These Filipinas, Teresa's an awesome tractor operator, baler operator. But when it comes down to uh, people who don't drive very often or don't have any understanding of equipment. Teresa's a quick learner. I don't know about her sister, so we'll find a job for her. She can cook, do laundry and stuff like that. She'd be really good at that. Problem is she doesn't drive because she's from the Philippines and it takes a lot of money to drive there. But she can cook. So there you go. You guys will be enjoying some Filipino cuisine. Um, we'll have a menu set up, and you guys can vote on the menu for lunch. It's gonna be sandwiches, hamburgers, hot dogs, shit like that. Of course, chicken sandwiches and cold cuts and things like that. And then if you want, you know, something different, you can tell her, and she can figure it out. But we'll only be about 3 hours apart. So from the Delmarva to where I'll be working, and I'm pretty sure that the Stinger stack wagon. Oh, what was that? Somebody just donated more money to me. That's crazy, these guys. $3, $1.99. Thank you. $1.99. It's $1.99. I'd love to read these comments. I just can't because I'm flying down this highway. I haven't gotten pulled over by the cops yet. I do have the lights on the back of the baler blaring because I don't want to have, you know, somebody not see me. And 30 some odd miles in a it's not such a big deal in the 7530. I do have to drive these things 100 miles, 116 miles up to Maryland. And if I drive them 116 miles, I think I may as well just drive them home. Just drive them home. It's only another 100 miles, you know. Yeah. And I'm kind of excited for next year. We're gonna have some good fun, and hopefully people learn about greasing power takeoff shafts on tractors because that kind of annoys me. Actually, it does more than annoys me. It pisses me off. I don't like being pissed off about stuff like that, but it does piss me off. So I think I could probably put an O-ring on. I've done that. I've taken an O-ring and put on there. But Exmoor, coming up on Exmoor, if I got it right. I think I'm looking at the Royal Farms now. Maybe not. Anyway, so I don't seem to be getting any new subscribers on my channel. I think Google gobble my balls is pretty much shut me out of the advancement programs and on YouTube. Kind of sad. Like absolutely no new subscribers in the last 2 weeks. And I've put out some pretty decent content, and that's okay. I mean, they just put me in the back burner of the YouTube world. I've been blacklisted due to political views and things like that. I don't mind talking politics. I really, you know, I've always had a pretty open mind that the people that are leading our country really have the country in our best interest. And looking at what has happened in the last 3 years of, you know, of this country's history, I should say history, well, it really is, it's kind of disgusting. You have a Speaker of the House that um, announced an impeachment inquiry over a phone call from a whistleblower that lied. Um, it just, I mean, it just boils down to it that lied. So now they've like crossed this threshold of, well, we've gone this far, we can't turn back. And what I see happening is these people, these political figures, the Democrat, the demon rats, or Democrats in the House of Representatives, have gone so far off the rails with hatred that they're going to impeach a man for doing his job. I mean, that's how I see it. Now, uh, quid pro quo is a fancy term used in negotiation. It's basically when I walk into a grocery store, I walk down the aisles and I pick out the the food that I'm going to buy, and I'd say that that's the quid, and the price is the pro quo. So I get the groceries for the price that they ask for it. If I don't like the price, I put it back on the shelf. Now I've negotiated contracts for over 20 years. Really, literally negotiated contracts. Now I've negotiated contracts that involved baked goods as well. So I negotiated a hay contract to a mushroom barn back when I started out. And they're like, yeah, you can bring us 700 tons of material. Well, 700 tons of material at that time, you know, it was like 50,000 bucks. That's what it was. About $50,000. And they wanted it only at certain times of the year, like in the spring when all their major contractors, the large contractors, had already brought their material in. So that doesn't do well for fuel uh, payments and for baling twine and parts to fix your tractor come, December and stuff like that when you really want the end of the year to finish up and you've only hauled in a dozen loads so far out of 700 tons. So what I've done was say, hey, if you get me in there, earlier, I'll bring you an apple pie or I'll bring you some cookies and stuff. And that's how you negotiate. When you're starting out, you sweeten the deal, those quid pro quos. So what I read in the transcript, and yes, I read the transcript. It took about 25 minutes. It didn't even take 25 minutes. You know, I bet it took me about 15 minutes to read that transcript. And I'm not a fast reader, but I read the transcript and I basically skimmed over the congratulations for winning the thing. And I went right to the meat of the bone, you know, the quid pro quo. So the quid pro quo was, according to the Democrats, that what the quid pro quo was, hey, uh, we'll give you this money, but we want you to dig up dirt on your political opponent, you know, your 2020 political opponent, meaning Joe Biden. Well, that's what the Democrats had come up with, and that's what their interpretation of it is. My layman terms was, hey, yeah, yeah, we're gonna give you the money. Don't worry. The money's on the way, and yeah. Oh, by the way, can you do me a favor? Meaning, hey, can you do me a favor? Not, hey, do me a favor. You're not gonna get your money. It was, hey, do me a favor. Could you look into what happened in 2016? There's a Democrat server that supposedly. And why would an American Democrat server be in the Ukraine? I mean, doesn't that sound a little fucked up? Like these are uh, American political parties with servers that are in the Ukraine. That that doesn't set well with me. But that's not what the Democrats are talking about. You know, apparently that's perfectly fine by them and perfectly normal for them to have these you know servers in another country. That doesn't make any sense to me. I think there's something there. Well, let's put it this way: if it was my grandmother, she would have said there's a nigger in the wood pile. Okay, now, that's a term that it's an old term. It means really doesn't mean anything against the black people of the world. It just means there's a nigger in the woodpile, meaning there's something that isn't quite right about it, and it's just the way it is. So the Democrats have this server in Ukraine, and the president is like, "Hey, just do me a favor. If you're going to fight corruption, do what you say you're going to do. If you do what you say you're going to do, could you look into this server?" He didn't say anything about Joe Biden. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump said nothing about Joe Biden. Zelensky is the one that said something about Joe Biden. And that's just the cold hard fact. It's in the transcript. So if you read the transcript and you see what it is, and you read it with an open mind and with no bias, if you have if you have a friend that is an independent, get them to read it to you or read it and then interpret it for you. Because in all honesty, if you're looking for something if you're looking for something, you will find it. Whether if you're looking for something positive in a letter, you'll find it. If you're looking for something negative in a letter, you will find it. It's just the way people are. So as a Democrat reading that transcript, all you see is, well, he's obviously talking about Joe Biden. Well, I don't really see it that way. I think the president, and it's pretty clear through what he's doing for this country. Uh, it's all positive. It's actually for the people of this country, not for the politicians of the country, because that's what's wrong with Washington, mostly, in my opinion, is that we have this, they're calling it the deep state. I call it deep rooted, appointed position people. There are people that have been in politics for 50 years. There's a senator in the House of Representatives who has been there for 50 years. Now, we're talking a dude that's been there since the 60s. Okay? Now, no. There's no new ideas. There's no fresh blood there. There's no, there's no open. I mean, these people, 50 years, the guy's got to be like 80 years old or 90 years old. These guys are old. Ocasio Cortez is the youngest senator, and she's a psycho. I mean, she's an absolute psychotic whack job. I watched her, and believe me, I I know right now there's a bunch of people in Iowa that have turned off their TVs to go to the bathroom and vomit after watching what that girl spewed out of her pie hole. And that's the truth. I mean, I watched some of it. She's at a Bernie Sanders rally, and Bernie Sanders, there's a lot of people there. I was actually quite surprised. But Bernie Sanders, the socialist, had Ocasio Cortez on taxpayer money, by the way, not donor money. She came out on taxpayer money to support her candidate, the person that she is endorsing and backing, and these people want to spend trillions of dollars. The entire government spending budget for a fiscal year is, I believe, $9 trillion a year. Elizabeth Warren wants to add $54 trillion to over the course of 10 years, I think, 54 trillion for 10 years, which is more than half of the annual budget every year for that 10 years. Bernie Sanders is, I think, close to twice that, something like that, almost twice that much money for Medicare for all. Now, I know people don't want to hear me talk about politics, and I understand it, but I'm just looking at this stuff and thinking about it, and it just drives me nuts. Um, I think they're really off base with their rights. Like Ocasio Cortez says that healthcare is a human right. Well, I don't know that healthcare is a human right. Yes, we have the right to go to a doctor. Yes, we have the right to go get medications if we deem them necessary. But the healthcare organization, if you ask me, the healthcare system is broken. I mean, you go to a hospital and they're like, oh yeah, you go to the hospital into the emergency room and it's going to cost you like $300. To walk through the doors, it's going to cost you $300. They like bend over, we're going to shove our hand up your ass, and we're going to yank $300 out of your wallet. Yeah, they're going to go through your ass because nothing when you go to the hospital is painless. So you go to the hospital, it's going to cost you $300. So you pay the $300 bill or whatever it is, and then all of a sudden you get a bill for $50. You get a bill for $250. You get a bill for $75. You get a bill for $25. You get a bill for $9.93, and you're like, wait a minute. Why are all these bills coming to me from a hospital stay that cost me $300 initial dollars? Now I got all this crap. So anyway, it's crazy. So the drugs that you buy here in the United States. Now I've been to other countries in the world. I've been to other countries, and the one country that I've been to a lot is the Philippines. And I use the Philippines because I've been there like 7 times. And I have bought some medications there. One was prednisone. I got sunburned really, 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 really bad back in 2013. And I needed prednisone. It cost me I think it was about $8 for this prednisone that I needed. And I overbought. I got like 30 pills of this stuff. And I didn't see a doctor or anything, so I took a few of these things to get rid of this sunburn. And I know that it doesn't get rid of sunburn, but it helps with the nerves. It calms the nerves down. But I over medicated myself, and I blew up like a freaking wood tick. I put 14 pounds of water on. Yeah, crazy, stupid, huh? So anyway, the prednisone, I bought that there. The prednisone here, you better crack that wallet open pretty wide because it's going to cost you Shit ton more than $8. My sister actually got prednisone when she was alive. You know, my sister Wendy, and I remember her saying, "Oh, really? You should have bought prednisone back from me," because it was like hundreds of dollars for a few pills. It's ridiculous. So, the world that we live in gets drugs from the same company, and it's the same formulas, the same company sells them all over the world, and you can go there and you can buy these drugs for $8. But here in the United States, it's like 10 times that, or 10 times. Yeah, maybe more than 10 times. It's a lot. So, is healthcare a constitutional right? Not at all. You wanna fix healthcare in the United States? You need to regulate these assholes. I mean, if the government wants to jump in and regulate the drug companies, which there are some medication reforms on the desk of Nancy Pelosi right now, and she hasn't brought anything to the floor in a year. A year. I mean, we have a Democrat controlled House of Representatives, and they have passed, what, 20 things in a year? 20 things. USMCA. That deal was signed, sealed, and delivered. The Mexicans are happy with it. The Canadians are happy with it. The United States is happy with it. The farmers, myself, and others will benefit from this USMCA. I don't know how Mexico and Canada are going to fare, but it's better than NAFTA. So why aren't we under USMCA? Why are our grain prices low? Our grain prices are low because Nancy Pelosi, dumbfuck Chuck Schumer in the Senate, Shifty Schiff, that lion sack of shit, who's running the dog and pony show down in the basement of the White House or of the Capitol building, that asshole needs to be strung up by his nutsack. You know, he's just a liar, and anybody that takes anything that comes from that pie hole of his as serious or as gospel truth is delusional. I mean, yeah, they've been on a hunt to dislodge this president from the White House since the day after he was inaugurated. And there's tweets that come out. These tweets, they drive me nuts. I don't do Twitter, but these tweets tweeted by people that are lawyers, you know, in high up positions and FBI agents, just absolutely nuts what they've said in a public statement on Twitter. Like, oh, the coup. You know, when I think of a coup, I think of a military takeover of our government. Well, it's not a military takeover of our government. It is our checks and balances are trying to remove a duly elected president from the White House on hearsay and feelings. You cannot present a case to a judge or the jury on hearsay and feelings. You know, what I've heard about these people that have testified so far in the House, you know, in these House committees, is, well, I was concerned. Concern is a feeling. There's no fact there. Um, I was, you know, I well, they're mostly just concerned. Did you have firsthand witness? Did you witness this phone call firsthand? Did you witness this firsthand? Well, no, I heard it from a friend of mine who was there. Well, who's the friend of yours? I don't wish to expose that person. So it's hearsay and feelings. You can't convict the president on that. And this House, these people that we elected, are the people of the United States elected to go to Washington and pass laws that help us as American citizens are put on the back burner so that the Democrats can tarnish the president and his track record. I don't feel that he's done anything really wrong. His mouth runs a little harder than it should, but me and him are a lot alike when it comes to that. If you attack me, I'm gonna attack you back. I'm just gonna get on my little keyboard there, and I'm gonna tell you to go bend over and fuck yourself, which is a little more harsh than what the president has said. But Shifty Shift is good. He's a useless piece of crap. And Nancy, do nothing, Nancy. Uh, you know, they're all do nothings down there. The problem is Trump is doing shit. I mean, your annual household income with the tax credit that Donald Trump had put in has risen by as much as $7,000. Bush raised our annual income 400 and some dollars, and Obama, he raised our annual income about $900. And those are facts. That's just what it is. But the president has the president through 401ks, through jobs, the new unemployment all-time lows. I think this is good stuff. So we're going to have the Democrat nominee, whoever it is. I think it's going to be Warren. I don't think it's going to be Bernie. I don't think it's going to be Biden. I think it's going to be Elizabeth Warren. So you're going to have Pocahontas stand up there next to, next to Trump. And what is she going to say? Well, unemployment. Yeah, it's an all-time low. The economy. It's at an all-time high. Healthcare. Well, I've got the bill. It's in the House. All they got to do is sign it, and drug prices will be lower, and your healthcare will be cheaper. But hey, that's on your side. You're a senator. Go do it. So, what are they going to bash him about? What are they going to say? Oh, well, you talked to a foreign leader, and you talked about what dirt you could dig up on a has-been election. An election that happened in 2016. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for the Democrat nominee and Donald Trump to get up on a stage and watch Donald Trump send them through the cheese grater. And that's exactly what it's going to be. It's cheese grater. I don't think these people have any idea what they're going to go up against. They have nothing to say that the president has done for us that can hurt them. I don't give a flying fuck about Ukraine. I kind of want to know why there's a Democrat server in Ukraine, and I kind of want to know why Hunter Biden. If I never heard of Hunter Biden, I wouldn't give a shit. But I've heard of Hunter Biden, and I know that he's Joe Biden's son. I'm a little concerned, and that's a feeling if you don't know. I'm a little concerned that Hunter Biden got a ride on Air Force Two to go to the Ukraine and meet with these people, where he then got a job with Burisma Holdings, and he ends up with a job which now we know him and his friend were getting 100 and how were they getting 160,000 a month was being put into their paychecks between the two, divvied up between the two of them. Like 160. And then it comes out that Hunter Biden wasn't getting $50,000 a month for this job. He was actually getting $88,000 a month for this job in a business he doesn't know anything about, a business that in a country he doesn't speak the language. And I'm monologuing here, I know, but he doesn't speak the language. He doesn't know anything about it. And what is he offering this Burisma Holdings? I don't get it. So, what is it? I mean, I might be just a dumb farmer driving a tractor down the road, but what is it? Is it a payoff for something else that we don't know about yet, but they're scared of Barr and the other fellow that's over there digging dirt on the 2016 election and wondering, I mean, we went through this whole Russia thing, and now we're down to the Ukraine, and Russia was we're all Russian spies. I'm a Russian spy. You guys are Russian spies. Didn't you sell grain to a company that sold beef and pork to Russia, and they ate it? So now we're all spies because we helped feed them. I mean, good God. I mean, this asinine bullshit. This Tulsi or Tulsi Gabbard or whatever the hell her name is, that Hillary Clinton comes out and says is a Russian spy, and Jill Stein is a Russian asset. You know, Hillary Clinton's cheese has slid off of her goddamn cracker. You know, Tulsi Gabbard is a veteran. Yeah, she's a Democrat. And if I was a Democrat, I think I'd probably be voting for her if I was a Democrat over these other idiots. But yeah, I just think that when it comes to corruption, I think there's so much corruption in the swamp, in the deep state, or these incumbent politicians. I mean, I guarantee you, Ocasio Cortez gets reelected. I guarantee you she gets reelected, even though she cost New York, Queens, or the Bronx, or whatever the hell she's from, that district, the 14th district of New York City. She cost them Amazon, and I bet those lemmings go to the polls and cast their vote for this 29-year-old bartender who doesn't know her asshole from a shoe sole, gets up, and now we got this crazy Bernie Sanders, flailing his arms all over the fucking place, talking about passing the new Green Deal. The Green New Deal. The Green New Deal means that if you live in a house, you must tear it down and rebuild it with a new greenhouse. Not green in color, the one that runs off of solar panels. Because guess what? Solar panels and wind generators. Because we're not going to have coal, gas, oil, gasoline. I mean, we're not going to have any of that stuff according to the Green New Deal, which is psycho. Psycho. And I see these people in Iowa lining up behind Bernie Sanders and Ocasio Cortez. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. My wife called, my lovely, beautiful Asalako. Yeah, so you guys are over in Iowa, and these people are lining up behind a socialist who wants to take away your, um, well, let's put it this way. Obama took away our rights to our own private health care. Obama did with this Affordable Health Care Act. I lost my health insurance, and I didn't lose it. I gave it up. I gave up my health insurance because they were going to put me on the Affordable Health Care Act bullshit. And I didn't want the Affordable Health Care Act bullshit, and I didn't think it would pass in the Supreme Court, but it did. And thanks to that faggot scumbag John McCain, excuse it if you're gay, I didn't mean you guys, but John McCain, that brain tumor jackass who has finally found his resting place, who railed against the Affordable Health Care Act, but because he hated Trump so bad, in a late night session in the House, stands up and says, we're not voting. He voted against repealing and replacing the Affordable Health Care Act, or Obamacare. So John McCain is the reason that I still don't have health care. But anyway, so I go in and I'm going to get health care. I'm going to go get health insurance. I go down there and I'm like, okay, I need health insurance. They're like, oh, okay, but you can't buy health insurance. Like, well, why the hell not? Well, because you can only buy health insurance in October. I'm like, what? What do you mean I can only buy health insurance in October? Yeah, that's the open enrollment. So the rest of the year, you're kind of fucked. So my insurance agent is telling me this. I'm like, what? Get the hell out of here. Why can't I just buy a health insurance plan? Well, you can go. Do you have an emergency? I'm like, well, no. I want to spend the money. Oh, well, okay. Well, no, you got to have an emergency, and then we can get you on health insurance. I'm like, okay. But I thought once you had an emergency and you don't have health insurance, you're kind of fucked then. Well, yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword. So, anyways, my health insurance, I had a quote on my health insurance, and this has been about, well, 4 years ago. About 4 years ago, I quoted it, and in October, and they're like, well, we need to know what your gross annual income was. I'm like, well, how about my net? They're like, no, we need to know your gross. So I do the gross, and the insurance policy comes back 18,640 bucks. $18,640. And I said to my insurance agent, I said, what, are they fucking crazy? I haven't spent $18,460 in my entire life, let alone 1 year. And she says, yeah, there's something wrong. So, yeah, there's something wrong, all right. It was Obama. So now these Democrats, and this is what I see, and this is my observation, and correct me if I'm wrong. Uh, I see Ocasio Cortez. Ocasio Cortez is standing up there before Bernie Sanders shows up, the socialist scumbag. Socialism will kill this country in a matter of about 5 years. We'll be done. We'll be done. We'll be defending. Well, if they allow us to have firearms, which I'll be dead because they're not taking my firearms away without a fight. It can kill me. That's okay because I'd rather be dead than live in a socialist country. Just so you know. That's not freedom. That is the chains of socialism binding us to the government, and a government that only wants to be a bigger government and have more of your money. Do you know that middle class families, with the tax proposals that they're talking, will, under Elizabeth Warren, 96% tax rate if you make over $100,000 a year? 96% tax rate. The Green New Deal, that will take 100% of all your earnings will go to the government. That leaves you with nothing, zero, zippo, zilch. You can't even pay to feed yourself. So elect those people. Elect those people. So Ocasio Cortez is standing up there and saying, "Hey, we need this. You need this, Bernie Sanders, because he's going to give you Medicare for all," which is not great. I could tell you a story, but it would take too long, about my mom and Medicare. She's retired and has taken her retirement, and because of Obama, my sister Wendy was dying from cancer, and she missed one of the enrollment deadlines because you can't just say, "Okay, I'm going to take on Medicare. I'm retiring," so you fill out the paperwork. No, no, you have stages of this crap you got to deal with. So my mom missed it, and it forever impacted her Social Security and Medicare. Yep. Thank you, Obama. So a Democrat, right? So we got this demon rat Democrat, and Ocasio Cortez is standing up there saying that it's Donald Trump's fault that the health care is where it is, even though it's on Nancy Pelosi's desk, and Obama gave us this Obamacare, which is fucking us all over, and it's Donald Trump's fault. I think the extinction of dinosaurs is Donald Trump's fault in the eyes of the Democrats. And you know what? I'm sure if I stood on the House floor and I said, we need to bring back dinosaurs because Donald Trump doesn't want dinosaurs, they would pour in at least $50 trillion into resurrecting dead, man eating, killing lizards that would like to eat us all. Because that's just the way they are. They're delusional. So Ocasio Cortez says about healthcare and all this healthcare, we need mandatory, we need Medicare for all, and Medicare for all, Medicare for all. And that basically does away with all of private insurance that you could possibly qualify for, because this qualification bullshit really fucks me up. Okay, so when I applied for my health care through I didn't want Affordable Health Care Act crap. They wanted my net income, but they went off of my gross. So my net income, I'm impoverished. I mean, I am so poor. If you look at my tax returns, because of depreciations of these wonderful pieces of equipment, I'm only worth about, I don't know, $9,000 a year in income. That's what I get. And that's the way I have it set up so that I don't pay these huge numbers of taxes, which I don't have to because I'm a farmer and I have deductions. Deduction, deduction, deductions. So they want my net to qualify me for my what health plans I can take. I'm eligible for, and because my net is only like 9 grand a year, the but they want to charge me. I can't go buy private insurance because my net is too low, but they want to charge me on my gross, which puts my premium at 18,640 fucking dollars. It doesn't make any sense. So, what the hell? How fucked up is that? Now, of course, Congress, you understand that Congress has exempted themselves from they passed it, the demon rats passed it, and exempted themselves from the Affordable Health Care Act. Yeah, they did. They did that. They're just wonderful. They're wonderful. We just gotta love these fucking idiots. Well, they're not stupid, They all stick together, like Donald said. They're vicious and they stick together, and that's the way they are. And you're not going to stop them from being that way. And holy shit, look at that spider! Ah, just wiped his ass off my way. Oh, I don't like the spider. Wait a minute. All right. Ah. Anyway, my damn windshield wiper just went out. Fuck. Anyway, yeah. Uh, yeah, so they're vicious and they stick together, and we got to deal with the aftermath of it as Americans, and it's just absolutely downright 100% uh, wrong. When I hear a Democrat say we need to uphold the Constitution of the United States so that this does not turn into an oligarch or uh, uh, a conservative. All the progress that we have made is lost to conservatism. Yeah, well, I kind of like being conservative. I like keeping a little more of my money. I like actually being able to say, hey, you know what? I'd like to go to Blue Cross and Blue Shield and buy my health insurance, or MetLife and buy life insurance, or Horizon and buy health insurance. But I can't do that. I fall under a group of rules that are so un-American and so unfree and so socialist that I begin to feel like I'm a, I'm a stranger in my own country. And when I see these people spew this crap, and they get these young people now, young people, Gen Zers and millennials, the youngest millennials and the Gen Zers, those people, I'm sorry to say this, but they're lazy. They are lazy. Not all of them. Don't get me wrong. Not all of them. But the ones that go to these rallies for socialism and you know they're just they're just delusional. It's like, oh, free college is a right. It's not a right. First things first. If you I did not go to college. I felt that I wasn't able to go to college, not because my parents couldn't afford it, is that I did not want to be there. Okay? So everybody has a right to free college. How many people are going to go to college that don't that aren't worthy of going to college, and they're just going to clog up the classrooms with people that are just there for the free pussy at the party and the party life. They're going to go to college for the parties. They're not really in it. Yes, you're going to get people that are going to be, oh wow, I can afford to go to college now because it's free. But you know anybody that wants a better life can work hard on their own and become, uh, go to college. They can go to college and become better and actually be worthy of that education. Maybe that doesn't sound nice, but being worthy of that education. Work hard and reap the fruits of your labor. That's the way I was raised. That's how I am. And that's how I feel that it should be. That if you work hard, whether it be at your job or at your school, in your college, you will reap the rewards of your labor. Now, if it's free, you can't tell me these people are going to study late at night because it's free. If I fail, I'll just come back next semester. You know what we're going to have? We're going to have a bunch of freeloading, uh, useless people that are clogging up the collegiate system, the college system, and yeah, people that really want to be there, the people that really want to be there, they're the ones that are going to suffer. Holy shit, what did I do? Zoom that in? I did. Holy crap. So, anyways, now I can actually, yeah, 4 more years. I say 4 more years. I say 4 more years for the president. Absolutely, 100%. I actually think he deserves 4 more years. Actually, I think he deserves like 8 more years because of the bullshit they put him through the first four. How's that sound? That'll get the Democrats all fucked up. Yeah, it's just as far as I'm concerned, it has been such an unfair and lopsided 4 years of that man's life that what the fuck? What happened here? Did that shut off? Yeah, it does. Okay. Yeah. Skilled trades. Yeah. Eric bought subs. Who's Eric? Eric, what, the dude across the river? Yeah, we'll be fine. I think once Barr comes back with his investigation, it's going to derail anything that these Democrats are coming up against. So, yeah. So, how do you know he bought subs? What did he do to buy subs? 7 of 9. I don't want to be in a communist country. No. I don't think Ivanka is the girl you want. I don't know. Maybe she'd be one of the prettiest presidents we'd ever have. She's a pretty girl. Richard Wilkins, hello. Don Jr. went after those. The View. Yeah, I saw that. 32,006 comments. Yeah, I don't think he bought those subs. I just think people feel sorry for him. I am not running for president. Anyway, I need to get in there and eat my supper. Everybody's here. I just pulled in. I'm pretty hungry. I got to see how the day went. So, guys, thanks for sticking around. I'm probably not going to leave this up. It turned political. Oh yeah, yeah. What was that thing I saw today? Epstein. I don't always kill myself, but when I do, I don't. I thought that was funnier than hell. But yeah, no, Epstein was killed. The Clintons probably killed him too. The reason the Clintons killed that guy is because he was fucking little kids. That's why. And if you don't believe that, well, I'm sorry. Bill Clinton was on Epstein's airplane for like, I think, what was it, 24 times or 27 times? You know, 20 some odd times. So tell me he wasn't going to that island to fuck little kids. He's disgusting. That man's disgusting. I heard this years ago, but all right, I'll keep it up. If you missed it and you're actually interested in it, go back and watch it. It's about an hour long. Anyways, thanks for sticking around. I'll see you some other time. Bye bye.